Hello, everyone. Welcome to CRM Connect. My name is Tamara. I'm so happy to have you guys here. Let me just get everyone in. All right. So who's excited about today? I know we've had some requests for this for a little while now about how to set up your e-commerce store inside of sales process. So we are going to go through the process of setting that up. And we have a few different ways to do that. So we're going to be walking through all of that today. And has anybody here had an e-commerce store before or is thinking about setting one up? So normally e-commerce is, you can think of it like it's a product store where you sell product. Oh, Kate, you did. Oh, amazing. Okay. You can also consider e-commerce for digital products as well. So just to, you can create a store for your digital products as well. So it doesn't have to be just for physical products. So, oh, Karen says she sold digital products only. Amazing. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be physical. It can be for digital products as well. So we are going to get started because this is going to be a little bit of a longer training. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can create a e-commerce store from scratch and how you can also attach an e-commerce store to your existing website. So there's two ways to do this in sales process. So we're going to talk about both of those. So the first one we're going to talk about is how to set this up from scratch, okay? And if it's just a standalone store all by itself, it's not something that you're going to attach to your website. Okay, so inside of your sales process account, the first place that you want to go to is Sites on the left-hand side. And we click on Sites, and you're going to see up here, you see how there's funnels, websites, and stores. So the first thing I want to show you is how to create a store from scratch. And then I'll show you how to attach a store to your existing website. Okay, so to create a store from scratch that doesn't attach to your website, you would come in here to Stores. And you'll see here that I have a few in here, but we're going to do it right from scratch. So you're going to come up here and go to New Store. And this allows you to build a store from scratch. You can have blank pages that you come in and design and fill out and everything from scratch, or you can use one of the many templates that we have. So I always love a good template because then I'm not staring at a blank screen trying to figure out what I want it to look like. So I'm going to choose from templates and click continue. And here you can see it brings up our template library, and on the side are different sort of categories that you can check out. So if you have a category of store that you are interested in setting up, and then also you can just look through e-commerce stores, right? So I just kind of scroll through until I find one that I kind of like the layout of. And I can take a look at it just by clicking on it. And so here, what you're kind of looking for is the layout. Is it nice and clean? Because e-commerce stores, it's not about fancy design. It's about showcasing your product, and you want to make it all about the products. So you want a super clean design, something that's really easy to navigate, and that doesn't have a lot of like bells and whistles, but So you can kind of look at this, and this looks super clean. It's really showcasing the products. It's nice and simple. So I'm going to choose this one. So I click on continue, and that's going to add the template to my store. It just takes a second for it to get added. And then it opens up right away in your in the builder. Okay. So the builder looks exactly the same inside of stores, websites, funnels, same builder. So you don't have to go and learn a whole new builder. So what makes a store different than a website? Couple things. A store has a shopping cart, right? Whereas your website doesn't necessarily have a shopping cart unless you attach a store to it. So it has a shopping cart. It also has a product element. So this is a product list element. And this can be a little confusing when you're first building your store because you're like, well, I don't want, this is not my product. I want to change it, right? This is a dynamic element. And so it's always going to show these products. But when you attach your products to the store and you view it as a customer would, so if you view it in preview mode, the dynamic elements disappear and your products show up. Okay. So those are basically the differences with a store. And then I'm going to come back out of here and I'm going to show you all the pages that are created when you build a store. Now you'll notice that I'm under websites again here. So the difference here I want to show you is websites. If I go to websites, you'll see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different websites under here. If I go to stores, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you attach a store to a website, you will find it under websites and stores. If your website doesn't have a store attached to it, you'll only find it under websites. Okay? So I hope that makes sense, but I just wanted to point out that little difference there. Okay? So if we go back to the store, I want to show you the, so this is what it was called. It was weight loss, but I'm going to give it a different name. I want to show you the pages that are created when you build a store. So when you build a store and use a template, these are the pages. Even if you don't use a template, these are the pages that are created, okay? So you get a products list, product details, a cart, a checkout, and a thank you page. And you can also get like a category page. Now, this particular template also came with an about section and a contact section. They don't all. Stores don't all come with that. But this particular template did. But usually there are 6, actually only 5 pages. The products, these top 4, this one, this is extra as well. So you get 5 pages added when you build a store. Okay. Now, let's go and look at a website and let's attach a store to a website. So we're going to go into our website section. We're going to see this. We're going to look at this website here, and you're going to see it has a home page, an appointment page, and a thank you page. Okay. But what I want to do is I want to attach a store to my existing website. So what I would do is I would open up the editor. And I'm going to come up here over on the left-hand side, and there's a plus button. So I'm going to click on the plus button, and you're going to see this white panel pop out. And you're going to see down here, store. And when I click on store, it says add an online store. Everything you need to sell online. Activate the store in a single click. Sell physical and digital products, accept online payments instantly. So when I click on this, it's going to add a store to my page or to my website. So it's adding the store right now. And we'll just give it a second to catch up there. And you can see it's got a product page. It's got the cart here, but I want to back out and show you what's been added here. So if we look at, here's those 3 pages I originally started with, right? And then here's the product list page that was added, product details, cart, checkout, and thank you. So these are the 5 pages that get added to your website to include a store in your website. Okay, any questions so far about that? Okay, we'll keep trucking along then. All right, so we've added the store to our website. Now, how do I connect the store to my navigation bar that already existed on my website? Well, all I'm going to do is go in here to my website navigation menu. And you can see now there is a shopping cart in my navigation menu. And I didn't show you this before, but there never was before. So when I added the store, it also added this shopping cart here. So this is my navigation menu. So what I want to do is I want to add my store to it, right? So I'm going to go over here to add it. So here is the menu items for my navigation. I'm going to add an item and I'm going to call the item store. Whoops. And I'm going to choose the page instead of a website URL. I'm going to say page. And then I can go to like my product list, right? And that's how I would connect my store to my website. So now I'll just try and enlarge this a little bit. You can see now that my navigation menu has About Us, Services, Team, Contact Us, and Store. And I can move those around. I can, if I wanted this to be up here, I can choose, grab it and move it around if it'll let me. Hold on one sec. It can be a bit finicky sometimes. Let me move my zoom out of the way here. You can just grab onto them and you should be able to just grab onto them and move them. Hold on. No. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. It is a bit finicky. I've had trouble with this before, but you should be able to just click on it and drag them around. They're just like drop and drag pieces. But so now we've connected our store to our navigation menu. And now we have to, the next thing we have to do is we have to set up our products that we're going to sell in our store. Because if we go and take a look at our product list page, so you'll see here when I clicked, I'll show you that again. Up here is a drop down at the top here. And if you click on this drop down, it pops out a panel and shows you all the pages in your website. So here's those 3 pages that I started with, right? And then here are the 5 pages that were added when I connected my store. And so if I go and take a look at my product list page, in the builder, this is what I see. But when I go to have a look at what my customer would actually see when they land on the page, this is what they're going to see. Okay. So it looks very plain, right? And it doesn't look the same as this. Now, the reason you're seeing this t-shirt, these 2 t-shirts and this little box here is because I have set up products already. And so it's pulling those products in. because this is a dynamic value and it doesn't look anything like the page that you see. Okay. So now we're going to leave the website and we're going to go set up our products, and I'll show you what I mean when we set them up. Okay. So we're going to come back out of the website now, and we're going to go over to our payments menu, and we're going to go to products. So here you're going to see we've set products up before to attach to funnels, right? We've set products up before there. And you're going to see under here you have products, collections, inventory, and reviews. These reviews are specific to your e-commerce store, okay? They're not for your Google business profile. These are different. These are just specific to your e-commerce store. And let's go and set up a product inside of products for the e-commerce store. And let's say we're selling t-shirts, okay? So I'm going to create a brand new product. And I'm actually going to say it's an adult hoodie. So that's like a sweater. And you can see here, include in online store. When I turn that on, that is what pulls the dynamic, or pulls it into the dynamic element in the store. You have to have this toggle turned on for the product to be pulled in. The thing is that it's automatically turns on. By default, it's turned on. So when you go to build your store, if you've built products in the past that have all been just attached to a funnel, you may go into your store and see all those products have been pulled in too. And what you'll have to do is come in here and shut this toggle off so that it doesn't pull those products into your e-commerce store. Okay? So adult hoodie. And then, I always just kind of rely on ChatGPT to write my descriptions. I never try and write them myself. So I'll go to ChatGPT, and I have that in a different screen. I'll just quickly bring that up, and I'll ask it to write me a description for an adult hoodie. Just one sec. Okay. Perfect. Now I have this little. It does a way better job than I do. So I'll show you what it wrote here. So I'm going to just paste this in. Look at that. That's what ChatGPT gave me. It's very descriptive, talks about the fabric, all of that, right? And so then we have our description. And then what we're going to do is we're going to upload a picture for the store. So we're going to go and upload a picture. And here it's our featured picture, okay? So you can add more pictures to your store here. So let's say you had pink hoodies and blue hoodies and red hoodies, and you could add all of the colors here, okay? Now, here you can enable a product label. So if we turn this on, it'll say, what do you want the product label to say? And this label you can use for like, if you want the product to have a label that says like limited quantities or on sale now or something like that, so that it differentiates from the other products in your store. So you can put that here. I'll put in here. And then you can also set a start date and end date for how long you want that label to appear on the product in your store. So here I could just say I only want it to appear from today. And then I want it to be discontinued or to take off on the 25th. Okay. Here is where you can add your product to a collection. Collections are groups of similar items. So a collection in a clothing store would be like t-shirts or jogging pants or jeans, right? And so you can choose a collection that you've already created, or you can create a collection from here and you can call it like hoodies, right? And then you can also add an image to your collection. You can also optimize for SEO, for search engine optimization. You will want to fill all of this out as well, right? So that it's searchable and it's will come up in search engines on Google, like Google, right? So we're going to do that. We've added it to hoodies. And you can add it to more than one collection. So let's say it's hoodies and maybe you have a collection called cozy wear or something like that, right? So it fits in the hoodie selection and it also fits in the cozy wear collection, right? So that's a collection that you would add it to. This is all tax stuff, so that's unique to wherever country you're in. If we click on additional options, this is just a statement descriptor for the customer's bank account statement or credit card statement. So if you wanted that to, you could type in here what you want that to be. And then here you would set up your price. Okay. So let's say my hoodie is $59.99 and it's in US dollars. And let's say originally it was $84.99. And so that's going to appear as that this is on sale, right? So what's going to happen when we look at the price, it's going to show $59.99 and this $84.99 is going to be crossed out and it'll say compare original price. Okay. Then we can also track inventory. Now, this can be really important, right? If you only have a certain supply of something, you're going to want to turn this on. And do you want to continue selling this if it goes out of stock, right? So you have to toggle that on too. So let's say I have 50 of these hoodies, okay? There's even more options here. So if we click on this again, you can put in a price description and you can also attach it to your course membership. But it's just part of this. It doesn't make sense really here when we're talking about t-shirts and hoodies, but it's just part of the product creation. So we're just going to skip over that. Then we have variants. Variants are for giving your customers the options that the shirt comes in. One variant, so when you add a variant, it is your first variant's going to be, the option name is going to be size, right? And then you're going to put in here the sizes, small, medium, large, and extra large. Okay, so that's one variant. So you have size. Maybe another variant is color, right? And so you have pink and blue and red. And you can do that. Okay, so now you have two variants. You have your sizes and you have your colors. And you can add as many variants as need be, right? Now, as I added the variants, what the system did was it put those variants in. I have size small pink hoodie, size medium pink hoodie. And if you go down, you'll see that there was a variant or a product created for each of the variants. So there's a small red hoodie, right? And this is where I would put my quantities for each of these hoodies in this particular. So let's say I only have 2 small pink hoodies, and I have 4 medium pink, and I have 5 large, right? So you can go down and you would fill this all out so that your inventory is correct for each variant that you have. All right. And then down here at the bottom is search engine listing. So this is how you optimize your store. You would have to do search engine optimization research, figure out what is a good SEO title for this. What are people looking for when they're looking for a sweatshirt, right? Do they call it hoodie? Do they call it something else where you're from? Like we have a province in our country here in Canada. They don't call them hoodies. They call them bunny hugs. So if I was targeting those people in Saskatchewan, I would want to use bunny hug in my SEO title, right? So I'm just going to leave this blank for now, but it would be really important to fill this out for your store. And then we are done. Like it's much more intensive to set up a product for an e-commerce store than it is for your funnel, right? Usually it's just the name and the price for your funnel and you're done. But this is a little bit more, but that's how you would set up a product for your funnel. And we're going to click save. And now we have our adult product, our adult hoodie added, and it's toggled on. So now I want to go back to my store and I'm going to show you. So here's what it looked like before, right? It had these 3 products here. I'm going to refresh it. And now our pink hoodie is added. And you can see it says limited quantities. That's that label that we talked about. And you can have that say whatever you want, right? You can have it say whatever you want. Now, that is what I mean by a dynamic element. This toggle right here determines whether it's going to show up in your store or not. Okay. So that toggle becomes very important when you're setting up your e-commerce store. If I shut that product off and save it, and then if I refresh this store, that product's gone. So that is how you get products to show up. Okay, that's really important to know. So let's turn that back on and we'll save it. All right, so we have we're gonna refresh that. We're gonna show here our product. So now let's say I want to purchase this product. So we're gonna click on this, and this is gonna take me to my product detail page. Okay, now I want to show you this. If I go to my sites and I go back to my website where this is set up, so product list was the first page with all the products on it. So it had the white, the brown t-shirt, the digital product, and then the pink hoodie. The product detail page is what we're seeing here. Okay, so remember, this has no design on it because I haven't designed it at all. Like you would have to pull in your website navigation in here, right? You would want to add your website style to this as well, right? But that's what this page is. It's the product detail page. So it is showing the details for one particular product. It's showing you the variation, right? So it's got size. You can choose your size here. And you can choose your color. All right. And then you can also click on this to see the full description of the hoodie. And if I wanted, here is where the color variables would be. Like if I have it come in red and blue, like I'd want those to show down here, right? Okay. And then I'm going to add it to the cart because I'm going to buy this. And this pops up over here. So it pops up with this kind of side panel for the cart. And so you can choose to view the cart or continue shopping. So I'm going to go and choose view cart, and this is going to take me to the cart page. Again, it doesn't look like much because I haven't designed it. You still have to go in and flesh these pages out. It just gives you the bones of your store. So I'll show you in the back end, that's this page. That's your cart page, okay? So that's what this page looks like. It's showing you what's in your cart. Now, oh, I see some questions coming in. Hold on one sec. Okay, Karen's asking. Yes, you can definitely choose something that you've already created with your company branding. And can you sell a workshop via a landing page or in a store? So if it's one workshop, I would use a landing page to sell it. I wouldn't put it in a store. A store is for if you have multiple things, right? Think about it like you're dropping things into a cart and they're purchasing them all at once. So if it was just that you only had the workshop to sell, then I would just put it on a landing page. So the website header, okay, that's a great question, Karen. Let's go and have a look at that. So if we go here into my homepage, let's go take a look at this. This is my header for my website, right? And what I could do here is I could create what we call a global section. And then I would add that global section to the top of every single page in my website. And then if I changed it in one place, it would change it everywhere. So I'll show you how to make a global section. So sections are always green. They're always outlined in green. And you're going to want to click on this little save button. If you're old like me, because I'm an old dinosaur, that little save button is like a floppy disk. That's what it looks like. And people who are too young to remember that, don't talk to me. I don't know who you are. Okay. I remember floppy disks very well. So we're going to click on the floppy disk and it's going to say, save this section as an asset. And I'm going to say website navigation. And then it's going to say add to. And so I'm going to say global sections, not template, global sections. And as soon as I click save on here, it's going to outline, the green is going to change to purple. Okay, so you'll see here now, this is a purple color instead of green. And that means that it is a global section. So what I would do is I would come to my product list. Oops, I have to save it first. Good catch there. Then I'm going to come to my product list and I'm going to go up here to this plus button and I'm going to go to global sections, click on global sections, and there's my website navigation. I'm going to pull that over. Okay. And then what I would do is I would delete this section up here because I don't need two navigation systems, right? So I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to click save. And now this matches. It matches, like the top part of my home page matches this page now. So that's how you can create sections that you want to use on other pages inside your website. The thing you have to remember is that if I make a change here, it's also going to make the change on the home page, right? So anything I change in this global section will also change on the home page. Okay. Did that answer your question, Karen? Yes? Okay, perfect. All right. So let's see here. We are on the cart page here, right? And this is giving us a rundown of our products that we're purchasing. And then if I'm ready to, I can go and hit checkout. And this is what the checkout page looks like. Again, it's something that you have to design. Like this is just the bones of it. You have to design the checkout page the way you want it to look. So if we go back to our website, we are looking at this page right now. We're looking at the checkout page. Okay. So a couple things that we want to bring to your attention for this one is you can use coupons. So you can use coupons for people to get discounts. And when we're in the builder, I'm going to take us back into the actual checkout page and into the builder here. We have to tell the system when they click continue, when they click to buy this, where do we want them to go? See, the button action is blank. So if I were to try to do a test purchase right now, it wouldn't work because this button doesn't go anywhere. So you have to come in here and connect it. So I'm going to choose go to page. And then I'm going to choose the thank you page because that's where I want them to end up. Okay. So we've saved that now. We're going to go, I'm just going to check and see if I have this in test mode because then we can do an actual test purchase. No, I'm going to throw that into test. And a website is the same as a funnel. Go to your settings page to throw it into test mode. Okay. And then save it. And then I'm going to refresh this page. And see, now it says test mode here. So now I can actually put my email address in. And I can put my information in. And if I want, I could add some notes to my order if there was something I wanted to request from the store owner, right? Otherwise, I'm just going to put in my test credit card. And click continue. And this is going to take me then to the thank you page. And this is what the thank you page looks like in a store. So it gives you kind of a rundown of what you ordered, how much you spent, and your shipping information here. Okay. And then you can continue shopping or you can go back about your business on the website. Now, we have set up the store, but we haven't connected it to any workflows yet. So they're not going to receive any sort of receipt. They're not going to receive any sort of email confirmation about their order, when it's coming, that sort of thing. So that's the next piece that we have to set up. Okay. So we're going to go out of here. A couple things I should show you here. So once your store is attached, you are going to see this products tab come up. And the reason that this exists is because you can have the opportunity to have more, you can have more than one store, right? And you can, because of that dynamic element, before this feature was introduced, all of the products that you wanted in your online store, you couldn't only put them in a certain store, right? Because it would pull everything through. So now you have the opportunity here to choose to include only certain products in a certain store. Okay, so does that make sense? Because of the dynamic element and that toggle when you create products that you turn on, you have to have that turned on for it to show up in your store, but maybe you have two different stores and you don't want all of those products to show up in each store. You have different products for different stores. So here's how you can identify which ones to include and which ones not, right? You can choose here to exclude this from this store. And then what it does is it shows here, this is not going to show up in this store, but these three items are included in this store. So that's how you can add different products to different stores and exclude different products from the store as well. Any questions so far? How does everybody feel about the product creation? Does that seem pretty self-explanatory as you're going through setting the products up? Okay, we have some questions coming in. Yes, there's a lot of steps, but once you set up one product, Karen, you'll feel really good. Like you'll be like, oh, this isn't that bad. Like I just have to kind of follow along in the form. So if we had more than one payment gateway integrated, would all the payment gateways appear? Yes. Yes. So if you have Stripe connected, if you have PayPal connected, and if you have Apple Pay and Google Pay connected in your Stripe, it will give them all those options to pay. Yes. Yeah. Your old brain. Oh, Karen, you're younger than I am. You're fine. You're fine. Yes, you are. You're just a young pup. Okay. So, there's a couple more things I want to show you before we hook up the workflows, okay? So, if we go to payments, now, remember here in products, I showed you we had our products where we set up our products, and we also had our collections. So let's take a look at, if I click on collections, what's under here? It's showing me the 3 collections that I have. So if you ever decide, oh, I don't like that collection, or I don't need that one anymore, this is where you come and get rid of it. This is where you would delete it or edit the name. So you'd come into the collections section under products. And then here is your inventory. And here is where you can see how much inventory you have in your store. It's going to show you all of your variations. So size large, blue hoodie, I have 0, right? And this is also where you can toggle on or off. Do you want to continue selling it if it's out of stock? Okay. If you do, you can turn it on. If you don't, if they try to select that hoodie in the store, they won't be able to purchase it because there's no inventory. Okay. And so this is where your inventory will live. And you can add SKU numbers when you set up your products. Okay, there you can add SKU numbers. I know, like if you sell on Shopify or Amazon, or if you're dealing with a warehouse for your products, you're going to have a SKU, right? That's going to be your key identifier. So you can set all that up. So you can keep track of your inventory inside of your store. And then here are reviews. Okay. Now, These are, like I mentioned before, these are product reviews from your e-commerce store. This is not your Google business reviews. Those are two different things. So I just want to make that clear. And I don't have any mock reviews to show you, but this is where they will live. And then you can decide if you want to display those reviews in your store with that product there. Okay. So that's just something to point out here. And now let's go and hook up the automation, the workflow that we need to process the order. So we want to make sure that they receive a receipt. And we also want to make sure that they receive like a nice warm email from us saying thank you for your order and here's your shipping information and all of that, right? So inside of your payment settings, you have some settings in here that you need to set up for your store. The first one is receipts. Now, this is, and you can turn this on or off, enable automatic sales receipts for payments. This will create a receipt from your business for any sale that happens. It doesn't matter if it's in your e-commerce store, if it's in a sales funnel, if it's just through a payment link that you create. If this is turned on, it will email them a separate receipt. Okay, so you can come in here and decide what your receipt looks like. You can even create your own template for it. And right now it's using a default template. You could run a test payment to see what that receipt looks like. Actually, we can go, if I pull up my other, let's see. If I go into my other email address, I can show you what it looks like. Just one sec. Okay, I'll just stop my sharing this screen. One sec. And I'll share my other screen just to show you what the receipt looks like. So this is what a receipt looks like. This is a default receipt. Okay. Now, yours would look a little bit different because you'd have your business logo. So your business logo would also show up here. This is my demo account, so I don't have a business logo in here. But so this is what it was. It would say build to, and then here's the line item, and then it tells you everything here. Okay, so that's what your receipt looks like when it's sent out to them by email. And we'll go back to my other screen. Okay, so you can turn that on. If you need to set up your taxes, you can set them up in here. Now, if you live in the US, you can enable automatic sales tax. The rest of us people who do not live in the United States, we're out of luck. We have to set them up manually. So you would have to go through and set up your different tax rates here and all of that. So you can just walk through and set those up. Notifications. This is where you can set up a very simple abandoned cart email. Now, there is a default one that can go out. And if you have this turned on, and this one is turned on, you can decide how many hours after they abandon the cart, like they don't finish their purchase, will the email go out. So you can definitely do that here. Okay, and this is only for e-commerce stores. You can't use this for anything else. Just e-commerce. You can't use it in funnels. Okay. And then the order confirmation for stores. This is a confirmation email that will send out to people if they purchase something. And this is also how you would deliver a digital product, this has to be turned on for digital products if you want digital products delivered. Okay. And then here is where you're going to set up, if you set up for shipping zones. If anybody has had an e-commerce store before and they've sold physical products, you know that there's zones that you can set up. It's based on your location. And then you can also set up your shipping origin. So this is where, if they have to return the item to sender, you probably don't want them to send it back to your business. Like maybe you have a warehouse that you have it sent back to or something like that, right? So you'd want to set that information up. And then this is your subscription settings, which is, this is for like membership subscriptions that you can set up different notifications for failed payments. Okay, so that doesn't really apply to e-commerce, but it's in this payment settings here. Okay, any questions about that little section? Let me see. Let me check my chat here because I saw some stuff come through. Keep track of the transactions and follow-up sequence. This is a very, Karen, this is a very rudimentary like way here for setting up an abandoned cart. It's not my favorite. I like to customize it a little bit more through workflows. So I like to set up different workflows for abandoned cart. But this helps you get set up really fast if you want to use it this way. That's totally fine. But let's go through and set up a purchase automation because I think that's all we're going to have time for today. We'll set up a purchase automation for that hoodie, okay, that particular hoodie. So inside, we're going to go to automations now, and we're going to set up a purchase automation for that particular hoodie. So we're going to go to create workflow, and it's going to be start from scratch. And our trigger here is going to be order submission. Okay, not the order form submission, but order submitted. So we're going to choose order submitted. And then we're going to tell the system for which product. We're going to say global product and is, and we're going to find the hoodie, the adult hoodie. Okay, so this is for adult hoodie. And I'm just putting this on here so I'll remember. Okay. So now anytime, no matter where that hoodie is purchased, as soon as that order goes through, that's going to trigger this workflow. Okay. I'll just give this a name up here. There we go. So of course, then I'm going to want to probably add a tag, right? I want to tag everybody what they ordered. So I'm giving them a tag, adult hoodie. And then I also want to send them the email, right? I want to send them my custom email that I'm going to write to them about their purchase. Okay. So whatever that is. Now, there are certain custom values that you can use for purchases. It just depends on where you're trying to use them and what triggers you have set up as to whether or not you can use them. But I would write a nice email to them saying about, thank you for your purchase. And here's when you can expect your order to arrive. And here's your tracking number if you do that sort of thing. Whatever it is that you need to include in there. Okay. And then I would just save that. And of course, you can build this workflow out to include anything that you need it to include. but that's how you would track and tag purchases for adult hoodie. Okay. Any questions? Is everybody ready to go set up their e-commerce store now? Go sell some clothes or shoes or something like that? Okay, so the homework for today is so simple. It's really simple. All you have to do is go and create one e-commerce store product. So you're going to go into your payments and we're going to go over to our products and you can create an adult. We'll just open this one as an example. So I just need to see that this is toggled on, and you know that when that's toggled on, it means it's going to pull it into any store you have active in your sales process account. You have a nice description. You've got your screenshot here, your picture for it. Make sure you fill out all of this, set up your variations and your quantities. So for your inventory purposes, just set, so give me a screenshot of this and then just kind of scroll down and show me like the variation and give me a screenshot of this. Okay. And then you're going to post those in the Facebook group with hashtag sales process wins. And you will get your entry in for this week for the CRM Connect call. How does that sound? Any questions, guys? Kate is asking, can we customize the content of the order confirmation email for stores under settings notifications? I noticed that there is no option to select an email template. Yeah, no, you can't. Currently, you can't. The dev team is making some big changes. They're doing some big updates to the e-commerce product feature. We're going to see some big changes in Q2 of this year. So look for that then, Kate. They're going to be having all kinds of customizations coming out. So I got a little peek at the roadmap the other day and I was blown away by what they're bringing. So it's going to be. And then you said, can you set up a whole website in the system? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you can set up a whole website, Karen. So like the one that I showed you today was originally just a 3-page website, and then we attached the store, right? So when you say website in the system, is that what you're referring to or something else?
Maybe easier to answer like this.
Yes, yeah, I would love that if you feel comfortable.
Talk faster, yeah.
Yes.
So, no, I'm actually wondering, I need to refresh my website. So I'm wondering whether I should set it up here in sales process or whether I should set it up, myself separately.
Yeah.
So what would be the best way to do it?
Where is your current website?
It's on WordPress.
And the next question I always ask is, how much organic traffic are you currently getting to your website every month?
Oh, it doesn't really, not so many people, but
Okay.
it's important because I have like big clients in
Yes.
In companies, so
Yeah.
there needs to be a website. Yeah.
If it's not bringing you organic traffic, definitely I would recommend putting everything all under one roof then, right? You can build your website in sales process and have it there, and then you don't need your WordPress website anymore. But I always like to ask, just in case, like if you are a big blogger and you're bringing in lots of organic traffic to your website, you don't really want to mess with that. It's really hard to rebuild that sort of search engine reputation. So
I see.
Yeah, that's why I always ask those questions before I say, yes, bring your website on over.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah, always
welcome.
very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Kate's asking, will there be more dynamic and creative templates coming up for funnel and website designs? I noticed most of them are quite static. Yeah. So there's not, I know they release new templates every month. The team releases brand new templates every month. And they have received that feedback before that their templates are pretty basic. We do have animation features inside of the builder. Kate, I'm not sure if you've seen them or not, but not, I don't believe there's any templates with animations in them. So that's great feedback. And I will send that on to the dev team as well and just let them know that we'd like some more dynamic looking websites for sure for the templates. Yes, a fresh look. Yes, me too. Me too. Yeah, they're not in the templates. There's not any animation, but you can build it in yourself. Like there's animation that you don't need to know code for. So you can you can animate elements, you can animate images, you can animate buttons and stuff and text in the builder. But I noticed none of the templates have any animation. So yes, yeah. A lot of people do. I have a website builder on my team and he can do amazing things. He codes amazing animations. Yeah. Yeah, it can be quite tedious. I'm not a coder myself. I know, enough to be dangerous, and then I always have to reach out to my team member and say, "Can you come fix what I broke, please? Because I don't know what I'm doing." So then he comes and fixes it. But yeah. All right, guys, if we're all set for homework and there's no more questions, we will wrap up today. So good to see everybody again. And we are back on Tuesday morning for some people, Monday evening for others, for funnel forging next week. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you then.